It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for some baby talk, shall we? Now, we know that newborns don't come with instruction manuals. New parents are often afraid that they don't know everything they need to know when it comes to their baby or even their toddler. Now, while you may not know everything about babies, you can learn with Clover Nutrikids this morning. And one thing you'll want to learn is CPR and first aid. That's why we invited Carolyn Ridder, business owner at Training for Life, to tell us why what every parent should know and, of course, how to do it. Carolyn, so good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you. Good to be here.
This is fantastic. Like, this makes me nervous, and I'm not even a parent yet. The thought of my child choking and not knowing what to do.
I think that is any parent's biggest fear, especially when it comes to introducing solids or finger foods to their child. But Carolyn, from your perspective, you know, what are some of the hazards when it comes to introducing these finger foods and snacks to kids that parents need to be careful and mindful or stay clear of?
You know, I think you shouldn't. Everyone gets anxious because they're so afraid that their child's going to choke.
Yeah.
But really, your child will give you signs, and if you're feeding at the right time and the right age and following the advice of your pediatrician and your antenatal sister, and you're prepared, that you know what, if my child chokes, I can recognize it. And the thing is, a lot of people already freak out when the baby first has solids. They go,
Yes.
they're just not used to the taste
Yeah.
Okay.
and the texture. That's not choking.
Okay.
If they cough, remember, if you can cough, you can breathe, you're not going to die. So it's fine. Let your child cough. It's a natural instinct, and they will bring up whatever's bothering them.
Yeah.
The only time you need to stress is if they get big eyes, sometimes
Yes.
tear, and they either make a high-pitched sound or you don't hear anything at all. Then you know you need to intervene rapidly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like we see on TV, holding kids upside down, whacking them on the back. No, we don't do that.
Okay.
Because that was
Okay.
going to be my next question to you. Naturally, if you see your child is choking or even approaching becoming unconscious, what are the first steps to take before you even do CPR?
Okay, so it's really critical. Yeah. So CPR, remember, CPR is only when someone is not breathing.
Yes.
Okay, so your child's still breathing. They're looking at you, they're anxious.
Yeah.
Okay, so that it's really important. With your little baby, you're going to, first of all, have them in a feeding chair.
Okay.
Okay, because that's the thing, is we can't just have them randomly walking around.
Yeah.
Okay, so have them in a feeding chair. You're going to see they're choking. You're going to loosen them from the chair, take their jaw, and it's better to be kneeling.
Okay.
Can I kneel? Show
Yes,
me.
kneel,
Okay, we'll be
yeah.
able to see.
We'll readjust.
Okay, you'll readjust. And then have them upside down, heel of your hand between the shoulder blades. You're then going to whack really hard, up to 5 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you not going to hurt your baby's spine?
You know what? No. And the thing is, what is worse is if you're not forceful,
Yeah.
the object's not
It's
going
not
to
gonna
come
come
out,
out.
and then you have the risk of the child falling unconscious.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really critical you're forceful. And you know what? When your child chokes, you're so stressed that you do whack them super
Oh,
hard.
yeah. You whack them back to life.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, and
Uh-huh.
then this is the complicated part. You grab the head and over, and then you're going to, on the chest, where you would normally do CPR, you're going to push up to 5 times really hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Back over. And this is the thing, is that most people don't realize it's backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And that's why attending a course and physically practicing, because you just said, do you have to hit them that hard?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. And you don't know that unless you physically practiced on a doll.
Okay. And
Yeah.
up until what age can parents perform that method?
Up to the age of 1.
1. So
Yes.
if your toddler is 10, 11 months, that's the method you can...
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? You will feel so much better because if something happens, you've already learnt what to do. I know when my kids choked, because they've choked, they're normal children.
Yeah.
It's not just because I'm a paramedic, my kids are perfectly fine. That's not how it works. All I go back is, you know what? I teach this, I know how to intervene, and you do it.
Yeah.
And that's the critical thing. Learn what to do.
Learn what to do, because knowledge is power. Carolyn, I saw your fingers went specifically to a particular area. Where should your hand positioning be when you are doing the chest compressions with regards to what you were doing now?
Okay, so we all used to seeing CPR on kids.
Or even
Awesome.
adults?
Yeah, you've got a nice picture there.
Yes.
Nice, I like it. So we're all used to seeing adults with the
Yes.
2 hands if we watch whatever Grays or whatever program we watch. No. Okay, with little kids, it's 2 fingers. So you'd open up the clothing, and on the skin, so this is obviously we got it all nicely dressed, but on the skin, there's the nipples, just below the nipple line, 2 fingers.
Yeah.
2 fingers.
And you press really hard. Okay, a lot of people are like, wow, so hard. Yes, you've got to get a depth of 4 centimeters.
Wow.
And it's rapid. It's like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really rapid, up to 30, hey? 30. You got to do 30 pushes, and then you'd give 2 breaths. But I'm showing you the position, but you only do this once you've confirmed that the child's actually not breathing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so there's a whole process that you need to learn and go through. You can't just go whack your fingers on their chest.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. Carolyn Rhoda joining us this morning. We're talking about CPR. We're talking about life-saving techniques that you as a parent need to know. I'm not even a parent yet, and I'm eating this up because I never want my child to be in a situation where I cannot help. So she's going to be here with us one more time. Are we taking calls?
We
I
are
don't know.
taking
We
calls.
are taking calls.
Yes. So our lines are open 021 430 9881. If you've got a comment or a question regarding CPR or first aid for your infant or toddler, we would love to hear from you.
Oh, Nooni's getting a whacking today, eh?
It's used to it, it's fine.
Nutrikids, good for mom, way better for kids. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and what an interesting baby talk we're having this morning. Whether you've got kids or not yet, it's very important to equip yourself how to do CPR and be, equipped enough with a first aid tool with toddlers and infants. We have Carolyn Rhoda with us. She's the business owner at Training for Life, and she's here to really help us out. And we've already touched on CPR. We currently have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Marlies, hi, how are you? What's your question or comment for Carolyn?
Hi, good morning. Yes, I would like to know, I've got a 10-year-old son and often he chokes on meat. And then one night it actually got so bad that he was tapping me on my leg and I went into a panic actually. And my husband was the one that was jumping up and helping him to get it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it happens quite often and I would just like to know why it does happen. And the other thing is his teeth is really standing out, and I know I can't do anything about it before he reaches 8 or 12. So yeah, I would just like to know how to prevent it maybe, or why does it happen?
Okay. Carolyn, so I'm not sure if you heard the call
Just
correctly.
the second part I didn't hear clearly. He
Yeah,
has something?
his teeth is also standing out. She can't do anything about that up until he reaches 12. But what can be done? Because is it maybe the teeth that's causing him to not break down the food adequately and choking? Or I don't understand.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
But the main thing is just chewing slowly and being focused. I think what happens now so often is we're distracted when we're eating.
Yeah.
We're watching TV instead of sitting down at the table. So that's the one thing, is being distracted. And just chewing consistently. Some children don't like the texture.
Okay.
And then they don't like the texture and they swallow it, and the piece is too big.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my son's even choked on a burger.
Wow.
So, and that meat is quite soft.
Yeah.
So if it's happening consistently, I would consult speak to the pediatrician, who might refer them maybe to an occupational therapist, someone who can work with the child to reduce their sensitivity even to food. Yeah, so that's
right.
something that they can consider.
Thank you so much, Marlies, for that. Hopefully that has
Okay,
given you
thank
some
you.
insight. Thank you so much for calling. Carolyn, why is it so important, getting back to the whole issue of CPR and being knowledgeable, why is it important for parents and for teachers and guardians and even au pairs to make sure that their CPR training is up to date?
The thing is, what happens is every 5 years, all the clever people in resuscitation get together. It's a world conference. And then they come up with the best standards based on past research. So every 5 years, they look at what should be improved on.
Yes.
And so that's why you need to stay up to date, because I have people coming on classes sometimes that still think we've got to do CPR 5 compressions on a baby. And that was from long ago.
Yeah.
So it's critical. And the thing is, if you're an au pair, nanny, teacher, you have taken responsibility of someone else's child. And that is massive. I don't even like looking after other people's children because of the responsibility.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you feel confident with what you've done, then it's easy for you to go on and play and stimulate, because the whole thing with kids is stimulating them
Yeah.
and playing with them.
Yeah.
But you're not going to feel confident to feed them. You're not going to feel confident to play with them if you don't know that maybe the height.
Yeah.
For example, with a child, any height double their height is bad for their brain.
Yeah.
So then you start to think, okay, what do I need to do? So it's critical that you attend a course so that you can learn these things, so that you can feel
100%.
confident.
Yeah. We've got a call on the line. Natalie, good morning. What is your question or comment for Carolyn?
Hi, morning, ladies.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
I basically wanted to just give a comment regarding the CPR on a choking baby.
Yeah.
It was actually my daughter. She was about 2 years old, and she was eating those stuffed gummy bears with her father, and she swallowed 3 of them.
Okay.
And next minute he turned to me and I could see in his face something was wrong. And before he even said anything, I jumped up off the couch and I put her straight over my leg, like Carolyn said, in a kneeling position. So although she was already 2, I still used the same maneuver, and I also used the 5 back slaps to try and dislodge the gummy bears.
Yeah.
And then I lifted her up, I sweeped her mouth, and I managed to get 1 out. And my husband still said, no, there's still 2 more. So again, I put her over my leg, 5 back slaps, picked her up, sweeped her mouth, and the other 2 came out.
Sure.
And after the incident, I still said, CPR is something that everybody should know, because it was an incident like that actually literally set fear into his face. It was actually unbelievable to see how scary people actually get.
Okay. Natalie, I just got goosebumps just at you retelling the story, because I can imagine the shock and the fear that a parent goes through. So well done.
Thank you
and
for
we're
sharing
so
that.
glad that it worked out. But
Yeah.
listen, children can get your your blood pressure really, really high. But that was really good.
I just want to comment on something she did there.
Yeah.
And I think she's very responsible because she hit first. A lot of parents want to first dig their finger in the mouth.
That's maybe
And
pushing
you
something
can push it
further
further
back
down, absolutely. And you only put your finger in the mouth if you can visualize the object.
Okay.
And mostly you can't, because it's sitting down here. So I think her back slaps dislodged it, brought it forward so she could visualize.
Yeah.
Very important. So that was a good response.
Yeah. Well, Karen, I know we're running out of time, but quickly we need to touch on the first aid kit. It's very important for families to have it in the car, have it at home. What are the essentials that parents with toddlers and babies need to have at home?
Okay, so, just the basics. To cut it really short, I've put the whole list on my Facebook site.
Okay.
So what parents can do, I do sell first aid kits, but if you have a suitable container, look at the list and take it with you shopping.
Okay.
And go, because everything that you need for a child is there. Your thermometer, your medication for fever, your medication, seriously,
Everything, like
your
you said.
bandages, your medication for fever. Even there's Rehydrate if they're dehydrated.
Yeah, wonderful.
But even if you don't have Rehydrate, there's a little formula that you can put together yourself at home that's on the list.
Okay.
So I think the easiest that we make the most of time is to go on the website, look at the list and take that list shopping.
And make sure you have one at home and in your car.
Absolutely, you've got to be organized and then you feel better.
Thank you. Well, Carolyn, thank you so much for joining us, giving us all this knowledge and information and demonstration. And to each of our callers, thank you for participating. I'm really loving this baby talk. I'm learning a lot, but thank you so much for joining us to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
This looks good, huh? Just saying, yeah?
Nutrikids, good for mom, way better for kids. Made with love by Clover.